problems. That's what amazes me. Because it's not a problem with Ubisoft. It's a problem with For Honor. That to me is the biggest slap in the face.
I got some people rolling in.
All right. Let me get back to setup. See the setup here. 1 second.
The reason we don't do that, Sushi, is just because that would take even more time to set up, because that's on a different system. And we also, if we do anything PC related, we gotta take a little bit longer to set it up.
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. Yeah, we didn't do Skyrim or Star Wars because that takes more time to set up, and I usually have to set it up in advance. My PC demands it. I figured, yeah, I know, everyone was hoping that I play. I'll do Skyrim again later, okay? I'm playing this because I'll probably die a lot, and when I die, I can talk to you guys easier, because one of the benefits of Rainbow is you don't respawn. And because if you don't respawn, I can talk to you guys easier. So we're just gonna play this. I doubt we'll get a lot of viewers. I know most people hate that I play this game. Yeah. Is everything okay? No, it's not. Everything is not okay. I am furious right now. Guys, you don't even understand. So, For Honor announces the return of Test Your Metal. I'm dying to play Test Your Metal. I am so looking forward to playing Test Your Metal. I try to get on... it comes out Thursday, right? Well, it's not out Wednesday, but I still want to play some Wednesday, right? But servers are down Wednesday, so I can't play. Okay, that's okay. I don't have to play Wednesday. But then when Thursday comes along, I'm like, oh, wait, I can't play it Thursday because I have this policy. My policy is I never play... a game the day before I plan to stream it, because that way it's fresh and I'm not worn out with it before I get on, right? That's my policy. I do not want to play a game the day before. So I didn't play it Thursday. I didn't play Wednesday. Today's the day. I'm so excited because I had a very bad day at work. I had just an awful day at work. I was so miserable. And I was so excited to get on today with you guys, and then servers are down. And here's the thing, it wasn't even like it was down for a while. From the looks of it, it went down right as I was about to get started. Right as we were about to get started.
Raven has to bear with For Honor shenanigans. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that sums it up. It sums it up. Oh well. I was planning on playing For Honor once I got home tomorrow, but I've been hearing the same thing for a while now from a lot of people. Well, I really do hope that they fix it tomorrow. I feel like they should, because Test Your Metal has been missing for a long time. People have really wanted it, and if they're really having this many problems right as Test Your Metal comes out, nah, people are going to lose their mind about that. So I have a feeling they will bring it back, or at least do something or compensate us somehow. I don't know. It's just very frustrating. Are realistic duels coming out at the same time as Test Your Metal? Yes, they are.
Down to 10 seconds.
Let's see.
5 seconds to insertion.
3 threw that a little lower than I would have liked.
On bombs. Op 4 has a diffuser.
Maybe they didn't expect the influx. There's a possibility.
That may be part of it, because I know a lot of people wanted to get back on. But this happened twice now. I don't even know. It seemed to work yesterday when it first started. So I don't know what's going on right now.
I'm assuming that the potato they were using as the server got baked. That's my current running theory. And how did everybody coming in?
I don't see anyone.
Be advised, Op 4 has located a bomb.
What about that guy?
He's on the stairs.
Evening there, Jack. Is there more noteworthy player influx than usual? Yeah, every time there's a new update, there's a bit of thing. And so I'm not surprised the servers are having a little bit of an issue, but you think they'd be, like, I would expect them to be on top of it and try and, like, fix it almost immediately.
I'm going to sit right here because they need to come for this.
Well, I spent 4 hours hanging out with and getting some paperwork with my dad. I'm blessed that I live only a half hour away. Our parents live relatively close, too, and they help us with paperwork from time to time.
Yep, it helps out.
How goes the planning for the milestone video?
We're still thinking about what to do about the milestone video. We're still working that out.
We got a couple of other video ideas out there. Not milestone videos, but we're staying busy.
We're trying to figure out the best way to go about it.
You know, have enough brain cells for shit. They go, I know, brother, Lorcath, I tell you.
So, Raven, have you thought about Ultor and Ruth crossover? Yes, I have, actually. I have thought about an Ultor and Ruth crossover.
Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of solar activity recently. Maybe it's a combo of nature and Ubisoft being Ubisoft. I swear, if Ubisoft is stopped by the dang sun and Assassin's Creed 3 actually becomes prophetic, I'm driving up to Montreal and giving them a stern talking to.
That would be funny.
Like, what do you know? The Isu are right. The sun is the greatest villain. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why Ubisoft has it against the sun in Assassin's Creed. They actually mess up my server IRL.
Next operator for Rainbow Six Windsor Cringe. The next one is going to be, okay, let's see, so Valkyrie's next. Valkyrie is next. And then after Valkyrie is going to be Montaigne.
Geist is right. The real enemy is the sun.
May I suggest a live stream where we can interact with you?
Yeah, like our internet will allow that.
As if our internet would make that happen.
I mean, you are interacting right now through chat.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to us right now, but I don't know how you would interact with us. And sorry if I sent out of it, this has not been a good day, and tonight's little disappointment only made it much worse.
We need to locate a bomb.
I don't think we've been this upset since Duke's Barbecue closed.
Yeah, that hurt, man. That hurt.
That hurt on a spiritual level, man.
Hey, Raven, have you seen the new chapters of One Piece? No, I have not. I'm afraid not.
You know, Guy says we're still working on the Ruth montage, and we appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Glad you're working on that. Looking forward to it.
This is legit the first time I've seen someone go gridlock. Really? Gridlock's awesome.
Yeah, gridlock's great. I love gridlock. Do you want to get the day off your chest? It's nothing that I haven't already whined about before, and I don't want to turn this stream into just a whine fest. The whole thing is, I'm a substitute teacher, and I deal with kids who have very little respect for me. Oh, I can't go.
You could have just said you work in the American education system.
Well, there are some schools in America that aren't too terrible, but
yes, private schools.
Yes, you're right, private schools. But in this case, like, These little dirt bags have no respect for me or for authority. They treat me like crap. My nickname to these kids is Mr. Asshole. That is my nickname to these kids. And anytime I reprimand them or punish them for something they do wrong, which they do every day, go, you're such an asshole, Mr. Asshole. Mm-hmm. Hey, Raven, if you have free time, you should hang out with your loved ones. The only loved one I have here is my brother.
I'm already here.
So he's already here. My parents live across the state. I do not have a girlfriend. Yeah, sorry. That advice just made me feel worse!
Yeah.
Let's make sure they don't follow us.
Sharkass says, I know the pain, Raven. My mom is a teacher for little kids. Yep. What about us, Raven? Well, we're happy. We're all happy to have you.
Now you got me. What about us, Raven? Y'all are fans, not loved ones. The advice was to spend time with loved ones.
Yep. Yeah, not that we don't love you guys, but there's a difference between loving you guys and loved ones, because loved one means family, typically. Now, let's see. They shut down a barbecue place in South Carolina. I'm surprised you two didn't recreate Sherman's March. You never deprive us of another barbecue.
We're South Carolinians. We can't recreate Sherman's March.
Yeah, we're not Yankee enough to do that. And you gotta understand, there's still people that are sore about that. Where we live, if you go drive down certain back roads, you will see billboards slandering Sherman, calling him leading an army of murderers, rapists without the G, and thieves, and everything else under the sun. So if we did that, we'd be kicked out of polite society, if you can even call it polite. I just graduated from high school, best decision I ever made. Yeah, good job, you got out.
Glad you got out, man. That is the way to go. Anyway, yeah, I know that how many people we got watching right now? I've got, 22. That's
23.
23?
Yeah.
Going up? Okay. But yeah, so basically here's the problem. Let me tell you about this class, okay? Here's the thing. If I were actually teaching these students, that'd be fine, but I'm not teaching them. The teacher who I'm substituting for, got pregnant. She's going on maternity leave. And so I'm in her classroom for the rest of the school year. All the kids' work is on a website called Edgenuity. All of their work is there, all their quizzes, all their information, all the videos they have to watch, even their tests are all on Edgenuity. So they legitimately, that's all they have to do. They come in, I remind them of what they have to do, they hop on Edgenuity, and they do their thing, right? That's all they have to do. And each class period is an hour and a half long. And I have 3 classes. So that's 5 hours right there, or 6 hours. I'm not good at math. Anyway, point is, so I sit there and I basically deal with that. Now here's the thing. What can I do with these kids? I'm not teaching them. I'm not a science teacher. I don't know much about science. Well, I mean, I know about science, but not the stuff that they're working on. This is earth science. I like biology. I like archaeology. I like philosophy. I like that kind of science. I'm not an earth science guy, so I don't know all that stuff. Now you might say, oh, well, you could go on Edgenuity and see what they're learning. I can't. I don't have access to the internet in this school. The internet is strictly for district employees and students. I'm not a district employee and I'm not a student, so I do not have access to the internet. I can bring my laptop in and type stuff. I can type scripts for videos. I can type stories. I can type things, but I cannot get on the internet, so I can't even kill time by checking social media or working on YouTube videos. I can't even do that. All I can do... Yeah, guys, come on, try and shoot me. Come on, guys, you got it. You totally got it. But anyway, I can't do anything. I can't check their stuff. I can't check their work. I can't grade their work. And I can't do anything. I essentially am a glorified babysitter. That's all I am. That's all I am to these kids. A glorified babysitter. Now, you might think, well, that can't be too terrible. I mean, you can work on YouTube videos, right? You can write scripts. Yes, I can. Until you realize that these kids realize that I have no teeth, I really can't discipline them for anything, and they know it. So they will take advantage of that.
How are the teachers?
How are the teachers?
Like the other teachers in the building.
They're okay, but they have trouble with some of these kids too. The teachers aren't mean to me, if that's your question. Hold on.
This is why I hate kids in general. Yeah, if they're on the edge, it's weird. If there's certain kids that, like, if you interact with them outside of school or something like that, they're not so bad because you're not trying to get work out of them. Once you try and get them to do anything constructive, they become nightmares.
We did it! Yay! And I got a kill with my boy. Anyway, you can send them to the principal's office, can't you? Yes, I can, but I can't send half the class, and it's half the class that gives me problems. Is that, like, think about it like this: if the whole class is making noise, and I tell all of them, "Hey, be quiet," and they won't be quiet, I say, "Hey, be quiet," again. And so I say the third time, "Okay, guys, if I have to tell you to be quiet again, the ones talking will go to the principal." And then they all talk. How do I send the whole class to the principal? See, that's the problem. They know I can't back up that, or they know I can't back that up. Whenever there's one kid who does something especially bad, like try to pick a fight or throw something across the room, I can call an administrator and pull them out. And then that's when they say, "Man, you're such an asshole, Mr. Asshole." And then it's right back to square one, because that was just one problem kid. Now the rest of the problem kids are going to laugh and talk about how much trouble they're in and how I'm an asshole. And so problem does not really go away.
This is why I keep advertising to get our district should have shot collars. One day they'll take me seriously. A lot of teachers that had that problem in high school. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a common problem. It is something that teachers have to deal with on the regular.
And the problem is it's bleeding out. I saw a video of there is this guy, and he was being brought into trial, and he would not shut up. The judge kept on telling, "Sir, you'll have your chance to plead your case. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet." And he would not stop talking. They had to get a gag order on him. Literally, they had to have police officers and bailiffs put duct tape over his mouth so he could continue with the court proceedings. Well, that's just the thing. A lot of them just think, like, I can say whatever I want when I want. I have had students that have said that to my face. It's like, hey, you got to do your work. You got to stop talking. I don't want to. They'll even say, I can't. And then you gotta find an administrator to come in and drag them somewhere else. And
Wow.
then they act like, "Oh, but I didn't do anything."
I didn't do anything. Yeah, because I just call kids out for no reason. That's totally what I do.
Raven and Mark, have y'all ever had Cracker Barrel biscuits? We live in the South, of course we have.
Of course,
We
I
love
like
that
Cracker
stuff.
Barrel biscuits. Cracker Barrel biscuits are awesome biscuits. Is that a question?
10 seconds to go.
Oh, they're in the bottom floor. Oh, shoot.
Of course there's a button. I remember one time you and I played this map, and for defense, it put us in the same place every single time. I'm really glad I never went into the education system. A lot of kids are going to go out into the real world. They're going to find out how mean it is real quick, and I have to start. Yeah, I've told them. I've told them, like, guys, you don't understand. I know you guys don't think much of me. You don't think much of education in general. But the problem is,
Ooh, smoke.
Ooh, smock. Oh no, they got him. Wow, getting a smock kill, that's rare.
That is rare.
But now he's guilty of a war crime, so yay. But yeah, I've told kids, like, guys, once you get out into the real world, things are going to be very different for you. The reason the school system doesn't discipline you harder is because they're afraid of lawsuits. If it wasn't for that, they would do so much worse.
Did I just get a kill with Rook?
No, that wasn't your kill.
No, that was my kill. Look. I got a kill with
There we go. Oh, sorry, I was looking at my screen, not yours.
Operator remaining.
And so I was
Pulse took us both out.
Dagnabbit.
Good kill, Paul.
Is he mad because we kept on making fun of him for breaking up with Abana?
Maybe so.
As we say in my country, F the Geneva Convention.
Well, that's why today sucked, guys. This is why I was really looking forward to For Honor tonight.
It's time to unwind, test your metal. But unfortunately, Ubisoft and the Sun are too busy fighting each other, as per usual.
Well, one of the problems that I hate is these kids, like... Okay, this is a story. I told you this, Lark, but this was funny. The kids were taking a test online, and I told the kids, I don't mind if you talk normally, but during a test you need to be quiet. So here's how we're going to do this. While the tests are going on, you're quiet. When you're done with your test, bring me your laptop and show me the screen that shows you're done, and I'll check off your name. And once everyone's done with their test, then you can talk and do whatever you need to do. I don't mind. But we had kids that were still talking. And so I had to calm down, like, y'all need to stop talking right now. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. And they won't do it. Well, one guy in the class, he just says, man, I don't give a damn about this class. He didn't actually use the word damn, but I'm not going to use the actual word he said. And I had enough. I had already told them all plenty of times to be quiet, and I said, all right, if you really don't care, then you won't mind if I send you out of the class. He said, what? I said, go right next door. Because I talked to another teacher next door, and the teacher said, if they give you any problems, send them to me. So I said, go right next door, go to him. And he said, man, that's unfortunate. And he sat down and started playing on his phone. But you notice he's not supposed to do. And I looked at him and I said, that wasn't a request, go. And he just gives me this look and he goes, man, send me to another class. And I said, that's not your decision to make. Grab your stuff and go. Or I will have an administrator take you. So he goes, man, what a bitch. And so he gets up, slowly picking up his bag, slowly putting his laptop in it, taking his time, laughing with his buddies while he's unplugging his stuff. And I said, go already. Don't stop wasting your time. Let's go. And so he gives me this look, this just glowering glare, almost like, man, do you really expect me to take you seriously? And I said, are you going to stand there and glare at me, or do I need to call the administrator? He said, why don't you shut the F up and let me go? So I went to the phone to call the administrator, but there was no need because he had finally walked through the door. That is what I deal with. And now you might think, oh, well, obviously he got in-school suspension or something, right? No. No, he was in class the very next day. I wrote a whole note and left it with the administrator saying, this is what he did. They said, well, don't worry, we'll do something about it. Nothing was done. He was right back in class every day since then with the same disrespectful attitude because he knew nothing was going to happen. That gives you an idea of what I deal with.
This is why child's faces are perfectly molded for a fist. Trust me, I had a student once tell me, like, you know, Mr. Lark, like, you're real lucky that, like, we aren't allowed to hit teachers. and I gave him and I just looked at him and I said, if you're allowed to hit us, we're allowed to hit back. And I think there's a few that'd be willing to take a swing at you.
Yeah, let me be clear. If they allowed kids to take a swing at teachers, trust me, I would welcome it. Give it a try.
It's like, just give me a reason.
Give me one reason to take you out.
Listen,
give me one reason.
It's like, listen, the only reason most of you are still alive is because the rest of the world has better impulse control.
A bomb must be located.
You have a greater amount of patience than I would have put that little shit through the wall like it was in a Dragon Ball episode. Man, I've broken up too many fights in schools. Like, it's just one of those things. I've just gotten so used to it at this point.
I've had to break up fights now. Thankfully, I haven't had to break up as many as you. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. That's pretty much the idea. Because I've had a few students, like, give me, like, the stare down, like, I'm about to hit you, and I'm just like, okay, I'm twice your size. Do something.
But for me, it's like, it's not only that I'm twice your size, I'm trained, dude. Well, I fought actual people.
Because the thing is, here's what happens. Either A, they punch me, and I get to fight back, or B, they punch me, and I can go, okay, guess who just got expelled? And now I never have to see you again. Hey, Raven and Lark, have you seen the video where a lot of teens in Philadelphia were where loot and destroy Wawa. I have no idea what that last part was talking
I
about.
don't know what you're talking
Is
about.
Wawa a location? What is that?
I don't know what that's talking about. I'll be real
Bomb
honest.
has been located.
Crap! Well, I got me.
Luckily, my teachers are really cool dudes and do that. It's an Royal Red just dropped $10 saying, Raven, I hate your job for you.
Thank you for the $10, and yeah, I wish I could quit, but it's one more month to go, and I'm already signed on.
Yeah, and Royal Red, I really like your profile picture. It's cool.
That is a good profile picture.
We need it to be the Scholar Progenium and 40K, where the commissars show up when the students become unruly. Listen, we live really close to Paris Island. I would love if, like, we had a drill instructor we could just send them to. Like, all right, you don't want to deal with me, go deal with the drill instructor.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
And that one mime just dropped $10 saying, hey, missed last week's stream, very busy and major headache. I've been there. Y'all have a fantastic night. I hope everything gets better. Thank you, that one mime. Really appreciate you always popping in.
Appreciate that, really do. What are you doing for the summer? Working. I'm probably going to go back to Longhorns and work.
Gotta make that cheddar.
I got to make money. My trip to Japan has been put on hold because of my financial situation, so I got to make money somehow. So this summer I will probably be working at Longhorns most of the time.
Need to use your drone
As
to
well.
locate a bomb.
That is the way. Also, thankfully, working in the education system puts working in other industries in perspective.
It really does.
Because probably the most chill job I have ever had was when I was working a summer job in between school years, and I was just a pool monitor. They let me use the gym while I worked. It was beautiful.
That was awesome.
And the thing is, he said, like, hey, man, I could hire you on full-time to do just other stuff and just watch the grounds, and I thought about it.
Drone has located a bomb. Insertion.
How would you improve things how would we improve things if we ran the Department of Education?
For legal reasons, I'm not allowed to say.
I can't say because I could get in trouble.
Honestly, the biggest thing to do is we have a lot of kids in the education system that do not want to be there. They're only there because of truancy laws. That's the only reason they are there. We need to find some form of alternative program or something where they can just get out of school, so the ones that want to learn have the capacity to learn and aren't as distracted. And that way schools can say, okay, you clearly don't want to be here, let's get you out. Now, it's easy to say, it's a lot harder to do.
Uh-oh, sounds like someone's car alarm went off again.
And it stopped, thank goodness. Oh, like, Wawa is a gas station, and a lot of teams were looting and destroying it. In Philadelphia, that doesn't surprise me too much.
Well, you know, I'm not surprised by any of that stuff.
Down to one friendly.
Wow, they took us out pretty damn quick.
Why can't the parents just discipline their kids? Some do, and those are typically the better behaved children. What happens is we have a lot of children who come from broken homes. And so typically you have one parent that has custody, or one parent that's involved in the life, but they're typically working, and so they're so overworked because they're trying to feed at least 2 mouths, if not more, and so they can't stay, so the kids practically raise themselves. And not all kids like that turn out bad, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm having to call someone's mother or father, typically when I'm looking up to see what their information is, I see one parent's information, I don't see the others.
Sounds right.
It's Philly, I'd be surprised if it didn't happen.
The relationship between a child and parent is such a fine, delicate relationship.
That is true.
Indeed.
You're lucky we can't hit teachers. Like, here's my jaw. Make my day. I'll show you how I got to be a legate in this Imperial Army. I don't know why.
Let me put it this way. Damn the rules. If a kid lays hands on me, he's done.
Just
Like, they can tell, all right, you're officially fired. Good. Didn't like this job anyway. Bye.
sue the school.
I would 100% sue the school.
Actually, no. Don't sue your sub agency, because you said you put me in harm's way. You put me in harm's way and no way to defend myself. So you can sue them on grounds for wrongful termination. And they probably would have to settle with you just to get out, so yeah, don't do it. Oh, holy smokes. Dale Expert just dropped $100 saying, hey, this is payment for your suffering. It really doesn't have to come all from you, man, but we really appreciate it. Now, for a story. Several years ago, my vice principal told me that I could have been a teacher. Knowing how I am now, I would be the teacher that would be fired within a week for beating a kid's head in. But the rest of the teachers would love you forever, and
Yes,
thank
they
you so
would.
much.
Thank
Dale
you for the
Expert.
100. I'm speechless. You dropped 100 last time, too. Like, I really appreciate the donation. It means the world to me. Please don't break your bank for me. I would feel very guilty.
We love you, man, but just you popping in and just supporting us is enough. If you really want to drop that kind of change again, maybe consider going to the Teespring. That way we feel comfortable because you get something out of it too. Yeah, but still, thank you so much. Every American I know is a single parent or a child with a single parent. Heck, my uncle, who I live with, is raising his single kid, and somehow they treat each other poorly. It's a sad thing, but thankfully, like, I've seen a lot of good I talk a lot about the bad because typically, if it leads, it leads. The more negative we talk about it more. But I do have a lot of great kids that have great families. I actually have this one kid that I don't even teach him anymore, but I taught him my first year. And his parents run like this little sweets marshmallow bakery. And so every time there's something special, even though I don't teach him anymore, he will pop into my room and say, hey, Mr. Lark, here you go. And give me like this bouquet of like these marshmallow candies. What a sweet guy. Love that dude.
We do have some good kids. I don't want to make, well, at this school I don't have any good kids. But when I was a teacher, like an actual teacher, not a sub, I did have good kids. I really did. I had some great kids. But right now I'm in a class where the kids have no respect for me, and they know that I can't do anything to stop them. What I find so funny is a lot of them are just absolutely terrible kids. Like, they're kids that if they were to talk and act the way they do in modern society, they'd be the most hated person in the room. Many of them are very racist. Like, I don't mean, like, here's the thing. You know me, guys. I'm not PC. You know my political leanings. You know my ideals on these things. And trust me when I say I've never met such racist little kids. Like, the way they talk to and about each other, the way they talk about people of other races, like, my mind was blown. One student had the nerve to tell an assistant principal when I called the assistant principal to come take her. She called him a cracker to his face. I'm like, are you kidding? And this same girl also claims that white people ruin everything. She went to a funeral during the weekend and didn't understand why there were white people at it. It only made the situation more miserable.
It shouldn't surprise me because I know the student because I used to teach her.
Yeah.
And she is half white.
Well, the problem is, it's not just her. Lots of other kids in the class do this, but she's just the one who does this the most. And I'm like, you are so racist. Like, if I talk this way, I would be destroyed.
And barred from polite society and unpolite society. 4chan would still love us, though.
Like, It's stuff like that just makes my blood boil.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I get told constantly, hey, you need to check your privilege, you need to be careful what you say, you need to be considerate of other races, other genders, other blah, blah, blah. And yet you have this girl who is a minority and is female and is degrading to other races in the extreme. Where are people with her?
It's just weird. Oh, and Shark Chaos says, I remember one time in my French class, a student said he could do more push-ups than the teacher, and the teacher took him up on the challenge, but the teacher beat him terribly.
Yep.
I love those stories where it's just like, hey, teacher, I can take you on. Okay. Proceeds to get destroyed.
Out of curiosity, are the bad students black? As a black person, if they are, that's an embarrassment of race. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie to anybody here. I'll be 100% honest. Yes, most of them are. I do have some really crappy white students, too, and some crappy Hispanic. I didn't even look outside, so I just started firing.
You have a shotgun. You just point. Hello? Spotted by a scan.
Oh, no, not the scan.
But, yeah, realistically speaking, it's not so much having to do with race. Like, for example, in the school I'm at, most of my black students are very much well-behaved. I have several Hispanic students that give me problems. But I have several Hispanic students that are, like, I would take a bullet for because they are awesome. I have one that makes me laugh, very much so.
It's not, for me, it's not a matter of what their race is. I don't look at it in terms of, oh, I have the Hispanic students, they're going to be bad. I have the black students, they're going to be bad. It's not about that, and it's never been about that. For me, it's about, my dad said it best. I remember our dad said it best. It's not racist, it's statistical frequency.
discrimination is what he called it. And however, he didn't even use that with it. It was just when he was talking about employees he had that were... No, it was just one employee in particular.
He says, I'm not surprised. It was the same thing back when I was in school. Don't feel bad for them. Let the reality of life take them down. It always does. You know what, man? You're right. And you know what? It's sad. I feel really bad about even thinking that. I feel really bad about saying that, man, the majority of the kids that cause trouble in my class are of a minority status. I feel bad saying that because I don't want to come off as the racist because I know someone's going to say, oh, you're just saying that because you're racist. I'm sorry. Of the kids I've written up. And now I'm not saying that I have all good white... No, I have two that I'm like, yeah, they're both trying to be thugs. That's what they want to be. They want to fit in with the thug kids. And it's like, do you really want to? None of these kids are on the fast track to success.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous too the way they try and show off and everything. And the thing is, when I've gotten mad, I've told them to their face. It's like, guys, why I'm upset is because you might crawl out of high school, but you're not going to get a job. You're going to go. Your life is going to be destitute, and then you're going to wind up on some news channel somewhere talking about how your life went all wrong, and you're going to blame me and the education system, even though I did everything in my power to try and help you.
Exactly. That's what makes it so weird. It's like because these kids they're on the fast track to nowhere, and they don't even realize it.
10 seconds.
What is it with people thinking the thug life is so cool and attractive, they aren't even stylish like previous mafioso types?
I know, right? It's like, here's the thing. Say what you want about them, but the Al Capone days of mobsters, they were smooth, okay?
At least they knew how to dress.
They had class, all right? They may have been dangerous criminals and thugs, but you can't deny they had style.
Well, I don't know what influenced it, but like the saggy pants.
The saggy pants annoy me.
What annoys me the most, though, is the hoods. Because this is what they will do. They will brag to their buddies, like, I'm going to get my hair cut tomorrow. And they come in school like, is my haircut cool? And then they throw their hood up so nobody sees it. And I'm just like, why do you brag and spend so much money on these fancy fades and then not show it off?
Actually, what's funny to me is, oh, shoot, I'm glad I got away from there. Thatcher got smoked. What's funny to me...
What does it say on your shield?
Gorilla. That's right, Gorilla.
It should say, shoot me, I dare you. An old friend of mine from high school who was exactly as you and Lark spoke of is now a father of 5 and lives in a trailer and has been fired from numerous jobs and sells weed in his economy. At least he lives in a trailer. I don't even think some of my students are going to be able to get that far.
Yay, you got him. I got a kill assist for that. Yay.
Yeah, Thug Life is a cold and lonely life. I mean, I believe there was a prophetic song about it, Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah. I think the problem I have is just, it gets to the point of lunacy, because I can tell these kids, you're not going anywhere fast. You realize that. You're all going to end up dead in a ditch somewhere, right? Like, you're either going to end up dead in a ditch or you're going to end up in prison. And they wouldn't take me seriously. They wouldn't. And I'm like, I've been around the block, okay? I know where this trail leads, and it doesn't lead anywhere good. I think what bothers me most about it all is they're under the impression that feigning stupidity is cool. That's what gets me. They think feigning stupidity is somehow cool.
I also think part of it is a lot of them have trouble, but the thing is, it's embarrassing for them to come up to a teacher and go, hey man, I'm having trouble with this, could you help me explain it? And so instead they put up this bravado of, I don't care, and over time that slowly evolves into the truth.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I didn't want to turn this all into a whole misery party, so apologies.
They think you know nothing because you're just a teacher. They assume you woke up at 6 a.m. on the dot and ate unseasoned oatmeal for breakfast every day until you became a square or something. Yeah. Now, I love bamboozling my kids because they'll start eating in class and go, hey, you can't eat in class. Like, well, I didn't have breakfast. Like, I don't eat breakfast. Don't cry to me about it.
I very rarely get to eat breakfast, okay? Saturday and Sunday are the only times I get to eat breakfast.
So yeah. They also go like, Mr. Corbett, I can't do work. I have a headache. I have to teach a class, and I have feel like I have a migraine going on. Don't come at me with that.
5 seconds to insertion.
Like, how can you know the struggle of my life? You're just the man.
I had a kid once say, "You don't know what I've been through," and I'm like,
I could
"You
take
don't
a
know what
guess.
I'm like, you don't know what I've been through." If we're talking differences, you don't know what I've struggled with. You don't know my life. You don't know what I've had to fight.
Well, can you explain the struggles of your life without using the phrase "Beetle the Bard"?
I'm afraid not.
Then please stop talking.
Very well.
Indeed. I try to be as respectful as possible to my teachers, and I try to actually learn in school. I feel like your voice. Yeah, that's the thing, last Skylander. We have students like you that like they legitimately want to learn, and you can see the frustration in their face as every teacher has to stop what they're doing to redirect class because someone had to be an idiot.
Just got to prevent revive. Let this guy die.
Can you imagine being that hostage? You guys will heal me right now. If you die, we get points. Don't you revive him. Don't you do it.
No, Cat. What are you doing?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that, Cav?
Cav, that was really dumb.
You guys eat in the mornings, only on weekends.
Friendly's victorious.
We still won, but dang it, Cav.
Shenacreon? What the heck? Shenacreon 23 Pi? What ghetto name is that? Is that even a ghetto name? I don't even know what that is.
I don't know, they come up with weird names these days. Biscuits and gravy. Mm-hmm. Raven Knight, do you know Crusader Kings? I recommend you play it. You cannot just waltz into a chat and just recommend a Paradox game. That's like, hey man, have you heard of nuclear physics? I think you might like to get into that. Paradox games are not for the faint of heart. It's like, hey, what's the tutorial for a Paradox game? No, you just play until you stop sucking.
Exactly.
Because
Then again, that's Rainbow Six Siege too.
Oh no. Like, this is like slowly over time, you might be able to get better at your reaction and knowledge of the game. I have played several Paradox games.
Hannah, you're right. Teachers do eat food, but it's very rare.
It has been known to happen, but only when the PTO provides something for us, which isn't often. But the thing is, like, I have played Crusader Kings 2, 3, Stellaris, Hearts of Iron 4. I refuse to play Europa Universalis 4 because I don't have that kind of money to buy all that DLC. Imperator Rome, and I still have no idea what I'm doing on any of those games. But yet, I still love them. I still love them. Predominantly because I cheat like nobody's business, except for Stellaris. I can actually do okay on that one. Carrix Invictus just dropped $50 saying pouring one out for you, dude. Don't spill on yourself now, but we appreciate it. It doesn't ease the frustration of the situation you find yourself. I'll continue to pray for something good comes at the end of this path, and if not, a divine smite on the Rapscallions is good too. We really appreciate that, but that's also why we constantly talk every day and say, God, please give us your patience, because if you give us your strength, I'm going to hurt someone.
I just killed a rushing ash. The crocodile man is out for blood.
Well, that's how the crocodile man works.
Just ash just bust through. I'm a crocagator. This crocagator ain't taking none of your shit today.
Can I say Roma Invicta in a voice? I mean, I can try. I can't guarantee it's going to be... we can get Raven to try to... Roma Invicta!
Roma Invicta!
Roma Invicta.
Roma Invicta.
Hope that was close. Raven, like this talk reminds you of Thomas Sowell. Oh yeah, Thomas Sowell. Man, that guy hits a lot on the, not a lot of nails on the head. Thomas Sowell is a very wise individual. If you don't know who Thomas Sowell is, look up some of his work. He's very intelligent. See, Royal Red says, when I worked at a dang that. Oh, Vlad approved. When I worked at a factory and when a woman heard her cousin die from a gang fight and she did not care because he was a gangbanger. Oh man. That's sad, but at the same time, I kind of understand that sort of like disassociation. It's like when you have a family member that makes those poor choices, it's kind of like, oh, you kind of see it coming.
Well, we were asked earlier, like, do we think that they're influenced by somebody? I don't think it's that they're influenced by somebody. I think that what's happened, this is what I think has happened, and this is my honest opinion. I think a lot of these kids come from single-parent households. I think they come from households where they're either raised by just a mother or just a father, usually just a mother, or maybe even grandparents. Maybe the parents aren't even in the situation. And the parents or grandparents do not discipline. They let the kids get away with a lot. And the kids, it's not that they want to be punished, but they crave structure. They crave someone to tell them the limits. They crave someone to tell them where the boundaries are of what's right and what's wrong. And since they've never been told no to anything, they've kind of been left to do whatever they want because the parents are either too busy for them, or because the parents just let them get away with whatever, or what have you. They feel like they can do what they feel like. So when they get into the classroom, they act out. They act crazy. Now, of course, since the parents are so little involved in their own kids' lives, they have no idea what these kids are actually like. So when the teacher says, your kid's acting like a little brat, not my child. No, you're outrageous. And so the teachers back off. They go, okay, all right, we don't want any trouble. We don't want to get in trouble. We don't want to get sued. But then as the child goes through more and more stages of life, they start to realize, oh, I can do what I want. And anytime I get in trouble, my parents or parents are gonna run to my rescue, so I can get away with anything. They've learned the boundary now. They've learned where they're allowed to go, and their boundary is as far as I want. And then once I get in trouble, just cry to mom and dad that they're being unfair, they're mean white people, they're mean men, what have you, and thus they will come and rescue me. Eventually, most parents will kind of figure it out and go, oh no, my kid actually is a little brat. But it's too late now. The kid has learned the limits. So once the parent now tries to say, okay, you know what, I was wrong. I need to teach you some limits. This is how you're supposed to behave. They're not going to listen anymore. They're going to say, no, mom and dad, you taught me when I was a little kid that I could get away with anything, and you're going to back me up, right? And then when the parent says, I can't back you up from anything, well, then you hate me too. And that's the last thing the parent wants to hear from their kid. So they go, fine, okay. So I think that's where they get it. They have been taught for the longest time, we can do whatever we want and no one can stop us.
Reinforcing the wall!
Lark Raven told us that you play Greedfall. I found the story interesting and would love your thoughts on it.
Okay. Before I answer that, I want to answer James Morello's question. Raven does play on PS5. Okay, Greedfall. I have not gotten very far in it. When I saw the trailers, I was actually quite hyped. I played it. I played a little bit of it, but it really just did not interest me. And that sometimes happens. Like I sometimes will go back and actually go oh man, I really like this game on the second run through. That's what happened to me with Dragon Age Inquisition. I fell in love with it on the second playthrough. But Greedfall didn't. There was nothing really that struck for me. I liked the setting concept, but I had some problems with the way they carried the game in the world building. Like my first introduction to the colonial city, I was walking around trying to get a guy a business license to operate in the city, and I was just running back and forth between people talking about bureaucratic work. And while granted that's, I imagine, somewhat realistic, it's also not exactly engaging gameplay. Not to mention, I found spamming magic was just ludicrously effective, and also guns, when you had ammo, was great, but then when you ran out, you were like, oh, well, crap, I guess I'm gonna die. And not to mention the two main factions outside, there was one clearly that was Science Ottoman Empire, that's just the best because it has rational reasoning, and the other was just crazy, super religious thing. I know there's probably more nuance to it than that, but that was the impression they gave me immediately off of that, and it didn't paint me. It's like, I want both sides to have something to them, rather than just one, ooh, we're super scientific and follow reason, because we're based off of the Ottomans, even though the Ottomans had their own kooks about religion too, and meanwhile, the guys that are based off of more regular Western Europe are portrayed as just religious fanatics, which isn't entirely inaccurate, but there was more to it than that, and they had their own scientists too. I need to go back and actually play through it again to give the game true justice, but it just did not strike me. Because also when I got to the island and I got out of the settlement, I got lost and couldn't find my way out, and I was like, okay, whatever. Greedfall is a game I realized is a very acquired taste of the game. And I can understand, I can see there was a lot of love.
This Canadian violence must end. This Canadian on Canadian violence must end.
It's because one of you is probably from Quebec and the other is not. What is Greedfall is a game. It came out, I think, 2 years ago or so, maybe 2.5, whatever. But basically, it was an RPG set in sort of a fantasy, almost colonial era. Which props to creativity in that department instead of just bare cookie cutter high fantasy. But I feel like they could have fleshed out some of the lore a little bit more, and they might do that a little bit better. And I feel like they needed a little bit more meat to the gameplay. But considering that it was a AAA title, I can understand where that's coming from. But I need to go back and play it at some point to give it a better thing. As a Canadian, that is funny. Draken approves, Raven.
Hey, Raven and Mark, do your schools have security guards? My high school did. We have SROs, which are basically school resource officers. But they can't deal with kids. They're there to deal with, like, violent interactions or criminal behavior. They're there if a kid brings drugs or a gun to school. You know, that's what they're there for.
Okay, Anthony, let me explain. Morally gray would be a good term for it, but the problem is, when you start at the very start of the game, it was very clear which side the developers were favoring, because they painted the more Eastern faction as being based off of the Islamic Golden Age, and how they weren't religious, they were all about science and reason, and how the other side was very much religious fanatics, and they were trying to persecute the scholar and his wife for trying to claim that a religious text might have something wrong. And they didn't show very much redeeming quality in the other side. So it's like, I don't mind having you show a little bit of religious fanaticism. I love the Imperium of Man, for Pete's sake. But you have to have, like, the other kings, because you paint one side as completely rational thinkers, free from the trappings of religion, and then you have the other side, which is pursuing religious dogma with no rhyme or reason to it, no historical explanation to back up why they do what they do. That's why I was a little turned off to it, and perhaps they do a better job of fleshing it out a little bit later on. Oh,
thanks for walking right into my fire. I appreciated that.
And I set fire.
That's one of my favorite tactics to go. That's one of my favorite tactics to go as Vulcan. Just plant one of your things on a breakable door and just watch them break the door and run right into it. That's the best.
Look, you forgot the natives in Greedfall. Oh yeah, I also could see from the beginning that the natives were based. I don't know why I figured they were based up. I know they were what they were going for. It's like, oh yeah, like Native Americans, but they were styled more Celtic. But regardless, I knew, yes, forget it, they're going to be the poor oppressed natives that are just the bestest ever, though whatever. Thankfully, they didn't go too hard in that angle, but I could sort of sense vibes going that way.
Do you subscribe to PlayStation Plus, or do you pay for online with a card?
I think you have Plus.
I think I have Plus, yeah.
I heard Vulcan. Vulcan lives!
Alright, let's,
Reminds me of how in Skyrim the Stormcloaks are nice to you, but the Imperials try to cut your head off. Yes, but the thing is, if you go and talk to the Imperials, they'll actually have good reasons for doing what they're doing. And if you talk to the Stormcloaks, there's reason behind their thing. Like, if you go to any Imperial province, you're going to find secret Stormcloak sympathizers that have a reason for what they're talking about. If you go to any Stormcloak province, you're going to have Imperial sympathizers who explain why they think rebelling is a bad idea. The Skyrim Civil War is actually a very good example of how conflict could be handled. Because you have, both sides have excellent points. I think one side is objectively correct, but I can fully understand why the other side does what it does. Do we know what happened at Ubi and the For Honor servers? I assume the potato they used got fried.
I don't know what's going on there. I really do hope it gets fixed. That's all I can say.
Yeah, checking's still down.
I really hope they fix it soon.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say.
Mm-hmm. So Raven Lark won a low fantasy set in a time frame resembling Republic of Texas. Yes, dude, if you got me fantasy Old West, sign me up. I am all about that nonsense.
Bomb located by Op 4.
If For Honor is back up tomorrow, we will do For Honor tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I wish there was a way to bring peace to Skyrim without bloodshed. You're in an Elder Scrolls game. You're not getting out of this without bloodshed, dude. But I appreciate the thought. Hey, Raven, don't rag on Paradox Game as I declare gaming holy war on your brother for negative relation modifier. Yeah, sorry about that, but you are not an important enough state for that to qualify, and you also don't have the right DLC to actually have that take effect. So you're going to have to give me $50 for that DLC. But don't worry, the AI will already have access to it. I'm world building it as we speak. All right, Jack, you work on it. But in all seriousness, I have nothing against people who like Paradox games. I fully understand why. I'm just not good at them. Have you seen the Cracked article called 5 Shockingly Progressive Ideas from Primitive Cultures?
Yeah, Lark and I talked about that.
We saw that, and I was just like, I feel like you're...
Oh, did I get MVP?
Oh, let's see this now.
Did I get MVP?
Oh, Royal Red, I have 2 videos for you to watch.
Did I get MVP? Yes! I got MVP! Yay!
Thai Cyborg wins again.
Yay!
Oh gosh, have you guys seen the Siege Tale shorts with the drone hacking her prosthetic limbs?
I did it, guys! I got MVP! Yay!
Dun, 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 dun,
And now it's at this
dun,
point we would switch to Breach, but
how does one switch?
there is no Breach!
We have breaching charges. I've already seen them. All right, as long as you have a well-educated opinion, we can respect that.
Boy, Raven is tired. It's not that I'm tired, I'm just frustrated. I want For Honor to be fixed. I want to get... I haven't tried Test Your Metal. I'm sure a lot of you guys have done it by now. I haven't even done it yet. I didn't play it yesterday. While it was up, I didn't play it because I thought we were going to stream it tonight, and I wanted to be fresh with For Honor tonight. Sorry, I'm trying to ask this, Raven Knight. Are you paying for Essential Online Service, or are you paying for extra? I'm trying to figure out why I can't play Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
I think we got the extra.
We got the extra.
I'm afraid I don't know the technical details to help you, man. I'm sorry.
That's a weird screen. It looks like I'm looking at a Lego fort. It's weird.
It does. You fell through the cracks. Is this the last thing an ant sees when someone pours aluminum down? In Skyrim, I roleplayed as Argonian Dragonborn and in the Seasons Unending route where they never bothered to tell Ulfric Rotolius that Alduin was dead in order to delay the war as long as possible. It's like, so you're gonna get on that Alduin thing? Oh yeah, totally. You know, we haven't seen dragons attack in a while. Did you solve that? What? No, on that act. Lark playing a Paradox game is like putting him behind a 105mm gun of an AC-130. Lord, I wish. Listen, typically, if you have never, if you guys want to see me mad, let me boot up Imperator Rome, and you'll see me rage, going, oh, suddenly the Grand Alliance forms against one small Greek city-state because I dared to have a war justification claim on my other crappy neighbor. Raven, how long have you been playing Siege?
A while.
I think we started playing when we were back in Conway. I think probably since 2018, 2019?
Something like that.
Yeah, probably 2018.
We need to locate a bomb.
Hey, Raven, just remember JC. He'll cheer you up. Remember what you've been told him with your beautiful jokes.
The problem is, if I think about JC, I think about what he works on, and he works on For Honor, and For Honor I can't play right now. Now I feel worse. No, it's a joke. I was joking.
You're a joke. Yeah, I'm a...
So what were you going to say about the Cracked article?
Oh yeah, just they're clearly cherry picking and misunderstanding nonsense. They're basically grasping at straws. And it's like, for one thing, they're so like, hey, did you know Vikings had specific laws about grape without the G? It's like, yeah, they weren't allowed to do it. It's like, do you have any idea what happened on a Viking raid? You weren't allowed to grape other Viking women. Like, if they were part of Scandinavian society, you were not allowed to touch other women in part of that society. But if you had them enslaved, fair game. If you found them on a raid, fair game. That's the thing. So it's like, hey, they had this one law, but you're forgetting another thing. And did Castle just give us a perfect opportunity? Where's Foos when you need him?
I can't plant it.
Weird. That is, in fact, they're just like beat it till it falls.
You have located a bomb.
Tozen goes into full block. You don't stand a chance against me, Kyoshin. Cool, does Kaze stance? I can do that too. Nani?
Oh,
God,
God,
about the Native Americans is dumb. Yeah. The sad fact is, I've heard that argument before about the Native Americans. Like, they have this thing called two-spirit things. Like, that was like one instance with one tribe, and let me tell you, it was very rare. Most Native Americans most Native tribes did not look fondly upon the whole thing. And so, you saying just like, yeah, all of them were like this because of this one very specific example, I have to say, yeah, no. No.
What? Oh, a nitro cell.
They hit you with the brick.
What a throw! That was perfectly done.
Just what I got. Message for you, sir. It's death. I love fighting Tozen. I remember for when I first fought Tozen, I was so mad.
Good kill. Yeah, thanks. That was a good headshot. Glad I got that.
Hey, Raven, what's up?
Hey!
I believe we got some ceiling fans, a little bit of insulation, some wood paneling. Hey, Raven, I have a joke for you that'll make you feel better. What did the dinosaur say to the cowboy?
Bazing! You said that like 4 times. I've seen it. It's just not funny.
I remember people said the same way about Africa before Europeans came over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
As someone who has a friend who is from Zambia, he told us, yeah, no, none of that.
Yeah, we have a friend from Africa who can confirm. Nope, that's a load of bull.
Last operator standing.
T-Maw's like, absolutely not. Death by recruit, what a way to, I'll read my comment about the TF movie. Is it okay? Let me see Last Skylander.
15
Hey, Raven, I was watching the video about a rewrite of the Transformers movies, and in the second movie rewrite, there was a scene where Optimus Prime meets with the Pope to discuss alien religious stuff. What the heck? How does that conversation go? This is
That sounds really stupid.
like, I'd like to talk with you about theology. You're a robot.
You're
Giant robot.
You're a
from
giant
space.
robot.
I'm aware. Now let us discuss Mark. Can you imagine?
That's stupid.
Can you imagine Optimus Prime rolling up and saying, let's talk about Jesus? Actually, oh my gosh.
I'd like to talk to you about our Lord and Savior Jesus.
Raven, do you remember the silver ring thing?
Yes, I
And
do.
how they incorporated Transformers into that?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
Raven, thoughts on that Star Wars stuff happening? Oh, you mean the return of Rey, like in her own new movie where she's... So apparently what I've heard about this, and don't quote me on this, I could be wrong, but apparently in the new Star Wars movies coming out, Rey's coming back. She has built a brand new Jedi Order, but then she left it alone for a while.
Because
Now she's come back, and apparently it's fallen into disrepair because, of course it has. When Rey left, they just couldn't deal with it on their own. You know, it's Rey. She can't do anything. It's just the way Rey is. Like, no one can do anything without Rey. And so she's got to try to fix it, but she's also apparently pregnant. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to. I thought that I had like a thing. I'm sorry, Jaeger. I did not mean to do that.
He is just so disappointed.
I thought that I had like a ballistic shield like that. I am sorry.
I think he's AFKing, so I think we're good.
No, he moved. Like he was glaring at me.
It's like, never talk to me, you're my ADS ever again.
I think he mad, man.
Located a bomb. Be ready for assault.
Who's the child with Kylo Ren's? No, it's probably just the Force, because the Force just thinks she's the bestest ever.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm surprised, like, with the negative reaction, like, no one liked 9. Nobody liked 9.
Even the people who liked like 6, 7, and 8.
Did
Even
not
the ones
like
who
it.
liked 7 and 8 did not like 9. 9 was hated by everyone.
And so, I don't know what kind of glutton for punishment they are. Star Wars as a franchise is practically dead as far as cinematic universe goes. So Rey is the Virgin Mary. I'm betting that's what they're trying... No, they wouldn't do that, because that would imply that she's giving birth to a savior. She herself is the savior.
Unless she's giving birth to a daughter. In which case the daughter will be a fat, tubbo, goth lesbian.
Mm-hmm. Disney's not allowed to make any more Star Wars content. They just shouldn't make anything else.
That recruit is a god. Look, what's his kill? He's gotten 5 kills and 1 death. The
Listen,
dude-
if someone mains recruit, they're probably just very, very good at the game.
Yeah.
Mr. Pope, I'd like to tell you about our Lord and Savior, Primus.
I'd like to tell you about our Lord and Savior, the Omnissiah.
Engage
the linkage Omnissiah. Engage the linkage Omnissiah. Engage the linkage Omnissiah. Our truth has come online.
Not that we've heard that song before.
Nah. Rey sacrifices herself to save the light side of the Force, but becomes her own daughter, therefore fulfilling the Jesus metaphor, but also having Rey still be the savior. Spoilers.
That would actually... That makes no sense, but that's exactly why it would make sense to them. Like, hey, that plan, George Lucas sits there, that idea makes no sense. Exactly. What?
Catherine Kennedy doing another line of coke. Great.
Guys, I'm going to tell the truth. Okay, Lark, I told you about this earlier, and you actually got to read my draft of it. I'm writing a Star Wars story right now.
Another one.
I'm literally writing a Star Wars story right now called Priceless. Priceless, a Star Wars story. It is a story that takes place during the days of the Old Republic.
The good era.
The good era. It is about a bounty hunter who is working for a Hutt to kill another Hutt, but along the way comes across a secret about the Sith Empire that could get her and everyone she knows killed, and she needs to decide what she's going to do about it. Like, this story is one that I have had a lot of time to think about, and I've been enjoying writing it. Lark, let me ask you, since you've read my draft and you've heard my full idea on this, how would you compare it to the sequel series, or anything that has to do with Rey?
It's already more compelling, and it's got a better female protagonist.
Yeah.
She actually has goals, wants, dreams, and desires, and previous connections that matter.
Yep.
Transformers times Warhammer 40k would be awesome. They kind of already had it. It's called the Men of Iron. It was a rebellion during the Dark Age of technology, and the Men of Iron are freaking horrifying. Imagine Transformer meets Terminator. That's basically what they are. I'm rewriting the sequel series, actually. It's probably light years better of what they actually have.
Well, my plan was, let's see. Actually, better not say anything.
Yet.
We need to locate a bomb.
I better not say anything yet. I don't want to reveal too much. Tell you what, if I play Star Wars: The Old Republic on a stream sometime...
Well, we're going to have to May the 4th.
Yes, on May the 4th, we will be playing Star Wars... we will be playing Star Wars: The Old Republic on May the 4th. I hope y'all are looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I have my own idea for a Star Wars story, too. We all got. That's the beautiful thing about Star Wars that even Disney can't destroy. It's such a fascinating universe that you can't help but say, I wonder if this happened.
10 seconds.
Oh, I went wrong way. I don't like this map. It's too confusing.
5 seconds.
What even is this area? We just have this couch randomly here. Why do we have that?
Make your way to
Because
the
some
location.
people get tired and they need to sit
Opponent
down.
detected out. Oh, they're planning to spawn peek us all.
So this is how we die. Oh, and they're all recruits. We're dead, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Why do they do this? I'll never understand it.
Because they are the edgiest of edgelords.
I might as well die.
Activate presence reduction.
Poke your head back in front.
Poke that out.
Oh, is it the one wild Jaeger? I have no interest in that Rey movie. Like, how did did Rey become a master? Who made her a master? I can't stand Kathleen Kennedy, dude. Like, what if she came out with celebrations? They had a negative reaction. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do this.
But also, the thing is just like, Rey. It's like the thing is, I have to say, like, Rey became a master. This is outrageous. It's unfair. How can she be a master and not be on the council? What if Rey wasn't a Mary Sue? Then the sequel series might have been worth something. But I'm not going to pretend for a second like Rey is the exclusive problem with the sequel series.
No, she's not the only problem. She's just one of the most easy to identify. Yeah, those guys who decided to bum rush outside, good job, guys. We wasted you.
So they weren't the good kind of recruit guys. They were the, hey guys, let's goof around and see what happens.
Well,
Which, you know, to a degree I can respect.
I ended up getting a kill. That shouldn't happen.
You got MVP earlier. You're allowed to have kills.
I'm allowed to have kills?
That is the thing with Rainbow Six. So at one game you'll be like just blazing through everyone and just like kneel, mortal. And other games you'll just be like, I got a kill. I participated, guys. I headshotted.
Let's go Doki again, just for fun. Anyway.
Raven and Lark, would you like me to call it the Dark Ages to exterminate the Star Wars sequels? I'll just say they were made by the Fallen. That's one way. I like heck. I would just send some Happy Krieger boys with an Inquisitor, and we could probably get the same thing done. Heck, you know, why don't we take one of the Primarchs that's been lost for a while? Jagatai Khan needs something to do. Let's send him to have some fun.
But yeah, Rey's not the only problem with Star Wars. She's just, like I said, she's the easiest to identify. The whole problem with the new Star Wars series is they didn't care about what came before. That's the biggest problem I have with it. It was very clear that Kathleen Kennedy was far more interested in creating her own headcanon, her own self-insert story. She wanted to make a story that she could insert herself into. She wanted to insert political points that Disney wanted to see. She wanted to basically destroy what came before, because the thing is, she knew she couldn't outdo what came before, so it just makes more sense, instead of trying to outdo it, she'll just destroy what came before, and thus, if what came before is dead, then obviously what's now here is better. Looks like they decided not to bum rush this time.
No, James, I don't think we paid the $100 for the extra. I wouldn't worry about that. Let's see. Hey, Ravenlock, did you see on Twitter a gaming company was comparing Space Marines to Nazis and comparing Tyranids to Jews? I heard about that, and my thought is, what the heck are you trying to say? Who looks at a Tyranid and said, yeah, that's the Jewish people right there? And how do you not immediately think, how does that happen? I want to know the thought process of looking at a bug that is running around consuming all
They just killed each other, and I headshotted a recruit with a machine gun pistol. How? This doesn't make sense. That doesn't make. This game, man, this match right now is I don't know. Are
you microwaving your prefrontal cortex?
Yes, I have no idea how to feel right now. I am very concerned. Let's go Legion. I can't be this lucky again. Let's go Legion.
Draken, you're absolutely right. Just like...
I mean, not Legion, Vigil. Sorry. Vigil. Anyway.
Or maybe the Blood Angels were kosher. I still like that somebody pointed out that, I think it was Cody Bonds pointed out Balthazar gets...
Aaron Rawls' best Star Wars species?
Humans.
Well, humans are the majority, but if I had to pick a different one...
they're the best, man.
If I had to pick a different one,
Humanity for the win.
If I had to pick a different one, I would say,
Togruta are carnivorous, which makes them awesome.
They are awesome. I would say the Nautilon, or,
Kit Fisto is a cool dude.
Kit Fisto is awesome. But I would also say the Zabrak are pretty awesome.
I do love me some Zabrak.
And then, of course, hard to go wrong with Twi'leks. Twi'leks are pretty cool.
We said best race, not best property.
Okay, that's fair.
You see, I'm allowed to be racist to Star Wars.
Hey, Raven, what about the droid attack on the Wookiees? You deserve better.
It's like, we must help them. It's not a system we can afford to lose.
Mundi was a G, man. Mundi cared. Mundi cared.
It's just not about as many wives. Like, that had to rub Anakin the wrong way. It's like, man, I gotta keep my marriage a secret. Kiadi, what do you do about this? I just married a bunch of girls in public because my species is dying. Uh-oh.
Run!
A wild fuse, run!
Well, they've... Okay.
I like them on Calamari and the Trandoshans. Yeah, dude, Trandoshans are actually pretty baller in the long run.
Trandoshans are cool.
What about Plo? Oh, I love Plo. I'm not crazy about the rest of his race just because I don't know anything about it, but Plo Koon is baller. Gotta love how every racist chick just takes one look at an alien and they look at each other, do Predator handshake, and morph into Space Marine chapter. The heck? Never tell me the odds, Raven. So, if I tell you the odds, is that okay then? So Raven is more of an Ashoka or a Leia Sakura fan? Questions.
Alea or Ashoka? Ashoka has a really good personality, but Alea's hotter. Earlier the question was asked if I could make one character canon in the Star Wars universe.
All friendly.
Assuredly, I say unto you, I would make it Leah Tai. I would make Leah Tai canon.
That would be relatively easy to fit into lore too.
Yeah, Leah Tai would fit in very well.
More details on that at 11. There's a Scooby-Doo inspired character in Star Wars named Shaggy. Yeah, and then he met 2003 Grievous, and that guy takes no prisoners. Except for the Chancellor, but he really wasn't a prisoner. It was all an act. Trandoshans are baller. They are significantly weaker than Wookiees, but their brains are so smooth they somehow enslave them through pure source of stubbornness. That's some Skaven nonsense right there. It's like, we are so dumb, but we do not realize how dumb we are, so our plans work.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Watch your mouth, Larker. You'll find yourself floating home.
Oh no, run! Why'd you want to blow that up? Ow!
I like Shakti because she's somehow a perpetual in the Star Wars universe. She does keep popping up.
She really does. Like in the deleted scene of Revenge of the Sith, Grievous kills her, but in the game, Force Unleashed, she's killed by Starkill.
Well, no, she's not even killed. She does a backflip into a Sarlacc pit.
We don't know if she. I imagine she died.
She probably died.
But then again, Boba Fett fell into a Sarlacc pit and he came out.
So hey, sky's the limit.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready
Their
for
IQ's so low it's programming error and loops back around to maximum. I want to see Mara Jade brought back, if at least to give Luke a break. Dude deserves a hot redhead. I agree with you.
As far as I'm concerned, Mara Jade is still canon.
Yeah, Legends is still canon.
But the question was, who would I want to see as canon? And I said Leah Tai.
Yeah, there you go.
Because Leah Tai is...
Everyone needs a good mouth.
That's a Monte.
Very good.
Let's do this. Make sure he
that,
can't.
Monty.
Oh, he can, but I'm not going to make it easy for him. They're working their way upstairs.
Raven, make a story of the Battlefield 4 and use...
There we go, got Monty.
Make the story of the Siege of Shanghai from Battlefield 4 with the U.S. Marines and the American Liberation Army. Most we'd probably be able to do with is a short story. I'm the only one here that's played Battlefield 4.
Are you kidding? These guys were just freaking around earlier. Were they actually good this whole time?
They were being goofy goobers.
Unbelievable.
I guess they only like playing attacker or something?
Or maybe they just decided to actually up their game.
2 words, Darth Revan. Listen, he's still canon. I don't care what Disney says. He's
Revan's canon as far as I'm concerned.
In this household, he's always been canon. Raven and Lark, have you ever made your own Star Wars races?
I don't think so. I do not think so.
Honestly, I would want Raven to have his own movie. Somebody called Keanu Reeves. Listen, I think he would make a good Revan too, but here's the problem with that. Disney still owns the rights to Star Wars, so they'd screw it up.
Given that I brought up Ruby a bit ago, I gotta ask, Raven, do you believe losing all your memories to remake your body is equivalent to death? I mean...
It sounds like a...
Sounds like rebirth to me.
Sounds a bit like, reincarnation almost.
Yeah, that sounds like reincarnation to me.
Either that or it sounds like, what was that thing, Log Horizon. Like, every time you died, you lost a little bit more of your memories. Actually, isn't that what they do with the Storm... That's what they do with the Stormcast Eternals in Age of Sigmar. Now you made me think of the end times again. Now I'm bummed.
I wish these guys would stop blowing up walls. It's giving these people more easy ways to shoot us.
10 seconds.
Revan is still canon, though. I don't know why Lucasfilms keep pushing the High Republic a lot. Because they're uncreative hacks.
High Republic's stupid.
Keep an eye out for
Raven, are there centaur races in Star Wars? I don't think so. I've never seen
I mean, it
one.
wouldn't surprise me at this point, but I don't think they've gotten anything fleshed out.
I've never seen one.
Have you ever seen a centaur? Therefore, they don't
Be
exist.
advised, Op 4 has located a bomb.
Okay, hear me out. Games Workshop and Disney are the same company. No, it's like the Olympics of which one's dumber. I don't know. I'm not sure I can call them the same company because at least Disney tries to sell toys at a much cheaper rate. No one buys them, but they do try and sell toys at a much cheaper rate. Disney wishes they could sell their toys at the same rate Games Workshop does, or rather the same price. Yeah, $1,000 for a Titan that I still have to paint myself. No, thank you. Not that I'm salty about that stuff. Because I'm like,
Please come in.
hey Raven and Lark, do you think that what do you think the most annoying race in Star Wars is? I think Ewoks, the Ugnaughts.
The Ugnaughts.
Specifically because when you play Old Republic, they have like the same line of dialogue for everything, but it's just like this weird like shoving a pig into a rubber boot and then shaking it around. It's what it sounds like, and it grates on me. Jar Jar Binks. No, like listen, I can deal
Hold
with the
on.
gun. I can deal with the Gungans. I cannot deal with Ugnaughts.
Just letting him know I know he's there.
I'm still mad at EA has been lacking Star Wars games. You hear Ubisoft would be taking the license.
Freaking thinker.
Star Wars runner. Ubisoft would be taking the license for Star Wars?
One friendly
Interesting.
operator remaining.
Wait, does that mean Ubisoft is going to be doing the remake of Knights of the Old Republic?
Mission failed. All
I
friendlies
know.
have been neutralized.
I reminded you he exists. You're welcome. Hey Raven, how do you think the Empire would fare against the Uzong Vong had the rebellion been squashed in the beginning?
Fine, maybe?
Yeah, honestly, I think that would have been okay.
Yeah, I think that would have been okay.
I think Eckhart Slider has a pretty good video on that. And he's better at the speculation stuff because he lives and breathes Star Wars.
Alright, this will probably be the last match.
Alright. Just remember, Ewoks eat humans canonically. Yeah, no, I have no love for the little Build-A-Bear abominations, especially after what they did to all my boys on Endor. But the thing is, they just don't grate on me as much as Ugnaughts do. Because have you ever seen an Ugnaught do anything useful? No, you haven't. It's because they're worthless little pig people. I'm sorry, my blood boils every time I hear their little squeaky voices.
Yeah, I think you've got a thing against those Ugnaughts.
Sorry, one too many trips to Coruscant.
It does happen. It does happen.
Remember, Raven, Ewok jerky is the best jerky.
Yeah, it is. Ewok jerky is the best jerky.
Can you imagine going to Disney and they're like, what do you think of these cute little bear people? Can we eat it? The Ewoks require a good napalm strike. I mean, isn't that basically Space Vietnam for the Empire? Or is that Felucia?
Well, it looks like it's still down. I was just checking to see if For Honor had finally come back up. It has
Listen, all their engineers have probably gone home for the night. They're in the same time zone we are. Those boys in Endor have more PTSD than a Vietnam vet that survived both World War II theaters. It's like, there were bears everywhere, man. They were in the trees, man. Trees were speaking Ewok, man.
Drone to locate a bomb.
How to barbecue an Ewok. Use a flamer, pull the trigger until the screaming stops.
We're gonna need the heavy flamer for this heresy.
Gosh.
We might get stuffed, brothers.
Gosh, I do think though if Tyranids attack Endor, I think I'd probably be rooting for the Tyranids.
I would, except it just means they'd get strong enough to attack us later.
What are they going to learn from Ewok DNA? How to build a log?
No. It's not that they learn things from their DNA. They just add it to their biomass and get bigger.
Yeah,
And plus, keep in mind, it's not just Ewoks on Endor. They eat plant life too.
Yeah, you're right. They'd scrap the whole thing dry. So I guess we better exterminatus it so we can be safe. You make great points, Raven. Did that tree just say yub yub? Gosh,
I am the Lorax, I speak for the trees, and for some reason they're speaking Ewokanese. Thank you, Hannah. That is correct.
Why did you bring up that mushroom planet? I can still hear the screams of the act play in the original Battlefront 2. Oh gosh, I remember that mission. I still remember the final mission. Like, I felt so bad. It was like Alea Secura called us the bravest men she'd ever seen. None of us had the. It's a good thing we were wearing helmets because none of us could look her in the eye after that. It's like, oh gosh, like, because that was before like they had the chips. That was back when they were just like had social programming and they knew what was happening. Ever play Battlefront 2's Order 66 mission and always say, who's ready to kill some younglings? I know I am. No, we were more like jumping into the room like, Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do? Speaking of too many of them, don't you think this room's a little crowded? Psst. Take him down. Oh, look, you want Vietnam? Go to Umbar. Oh no, we don't talk about Umbara. We don't do that here. Then again, the Turks were freaking out, stressed when when the tree started speaking Romanian. Now they were freaking out when there was when the forest was Turkish corpses. Like, thank goodness my brother did not live to see. Oh look, he's not hanging from that one over there. I am the Lorax. I speak for the tree Ewok again, and I'll break your effing knees.
This is not looking good. But I have a marksman rifle. Your argument is invalid.
The recruit looked at you like, really?
Oh no! I was trying to put a claymore there! And I died.
I'd be like, a good soldier follows orders. Lark, what about the Night Sisters of Daphne? What about the Night Sisters?
What about the Night Sisters?
Lark is slowly becoming Ash Williams from Evil Dead. Gosh, does that mean I get like a 5/5 contract?
Whatever happened to Hogwarts or Dead Island 2? Are y'all still playing those? Yes, I beat Hogwarts.
Fun game.
Fun game.
Yeah, really fun.
And as for Dead Island 2, I am still playing that game, but the last time I streamed it, Ubisoft demonetized it because it was too graphic.
YouTube.
YouTube demonetized it because it was too graphic.
Right.
So there's not a lot of point in me streaming it since I'm not going to make any money off of it.
Yeah. The Teddy Bear Picnic song has some terrifying annotations to that on Indoor. Stormtroopers killing younglings, easy mode. Stormtroopers killing Ewoks, prepare to die mode. Yeah, every time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, good thing this is the last one.
Well, yeah,
Is Raven's net dying, or is it just? It is not just you. It is not just you. We're getting a little bit of lag here, but I think it's stabilizing.
I think it's fixed.
Use your drone to locate a
Are
bomb.
Ewoks Int's version of lice? Probably. You can see the trees coming in. Oh man, I think I got a bad and fit case of Ewoks there. Yeah. Not gonna lie, Galavex, I thought it was just like, is my internet this bad? Am I not getting it? But yeah, I think it's gone. I think it was just a little blur. Then again, considering Ubisoft's probably one engineer that was paid to stay up late is probably banging on the server with a wrench.
10 seconds to insertion.
I want to pet Wampa. I mean, there are cheaper ways to die, but okay. My goodness, the sun has finished off Ubisoft, and now it's here for Raven.
The bomb.
It's the tyranny of the sun. Harkon tried to warn us.
Yep. He would, because that's who Harkon is. Harkon warns us about these things.
Black Templar sees Ewok's brother. The furries are back.
Well, Glaz is down. Didn't take long.
Glaz, you're supposed to be like the last one alive. How do you do that? They're like, what is your favorite villain in all of Star Wars? Mine is Darth Vader or General Grievous. Ah, gosh. I mean, Darth Vader is awesome, but he's more than just a villain, in my opinion. I'm probably gonna have to say Palpatine. Not in the sequels, but in the prequels, just because he is having such a fun time as this whole nonsense is going through. Like, he just played the galaxy like a dang fiddle. Though you could argue he's probably not the strongest Sith in existence, particularly if you include Legends, because you got like people like Nihilus running around. But the fact he was this political mastermind just continues to impress me. That'll teach you to wear cargo shorts in my bank. Favorite villain, Rey. She killed the entire universe. Not wrong there. You're not wrong there, mate.
Little Mozzie, you don't stand a chance against a line. You are more Oh,
Oh, yeah!
That one server guy is just the only dude that works on For Honor servers whilst everyone else is on X Defiant and Rainbow.
Oh, yeah, X-Defiant is a thing.
You know, James, the 2 times you've been on my streams, you have basically made your point known that you don't care for Honor and you're just waiting on X Defiant. If you don't like For Honor, I get it. Okay? I understand. But you've made that clear twice now. You weren't here for it, Lark. It was during the live stream
Yeah, no,
reaction.
I heard about it. I was just reading a comment. Who watched Darkwing Duck? Everyone with sense. Everyone that could, should watch Darkwing.
Absolutely.
What if the Empire won? It would be a better galaxy. I mean, the series would have taken a different story turn. Yeah. But honestly, I'm kind of more of a fan of the Sith Empire from Old Republic, just because I know they're more evil, but they're funnier to me that way.
Correct.
Grievous is 100% more terrifying than Vader, in my opinion, and if he was made out of Beskar, he would have been unstoppable, especially the 2001. But he was nerfed into oblivion. Yeah, he was nerfed. Like, 2003 Grievous hit different.
Wait, what about Senator Chuchi? What did you guys think about her? I like Senator Chuchi. She was cool. She was that blue-faced senator who went to negotiate with
Wait, was she a villain?
No, she was that girl.
No, but I thought we were still talking about favorite villains.
Oh, was Senator Chuchi a villain? I don't remember her being a villain.
I thought she was a good guy.
Yeah, I thought she was a good character.
Am I misremembering? I think she showed up twice.
Raven, I have reason to believe that Lark is a Sith Lord. No, I knew that.
An underpaid Sith Lord.
A very underpaid Sith Lord, for good reason.
It's like, I should hope I'm known to be a Sith Lord. I have it on my name tag.
Remaining. 5 seconds.
It broke a toolbox? Okay. Because that
Located
happened.
a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
I like the headcanon where Grievous got replaced after the 2003 cartoon by a different one because he was getting too dangerous to control by Darth Nihilus. I've never heard that theory before. Okay, no. The senator was a good person. They were just a little confused, or I was just confused.
We're all confused.
I believe Heidegger once said. Oh. Darth Lark, the apprentice of Darth Dracula. Nice. Aaron Rowell says it's over. I have the high ground.
You underestimate my power.
You see, I control real estate taxes, and since you have the high ground, you are going to get screwed over in April. A Sith Lord Jedi. Yes, Jedi. What are you going to do about it? No, put that lightsaber down!
What are you going to do now, Sith Lord?
Screw Sith Lord, I'd rather snipe you. I do love the Mandalorians the first time they fought Jedi. We can block blasters. Racks a shotgun shell. Shame.
With malicious intent. They rack the shotgun shell with malicious intent. That is important.
Yeah, she negotiated with the Yetis on the Snow Planet, and more recently, she's been advocating for clones' rights post-war. Good for her.
Good on you. Let's advocate for them clones' rights.
Yep.
We're just clones, sir.
What's
Meant
really
to be expendable.
What's really kind of sad, though, is the weird blue guy that Senator Chi-Chi was...
Chuchi.
Chuchi, whatever.
Not Chi-Chi, that's Goku's wife.
Same difference. But Chuchi I was like saying, like, hey, no, this is our solar system. Tell these the Yetis to get off the planet. I'm going, he kind of has a point. Like, no, they were here first. No, they weren't. We've seen, like, those guys were originally from Hoth and Legends. Or from another snow planet. So actually, no, they shouldn't be there. We don't know how they got there. So what are we gonna do? We need more Star Wars content, Raven. I could go on for hours. I got all the old essential guys. I am the Prophet. No, the Prophets are from Halo. Senator Chi-Chi. Ayo, Lark.
Cover me. Cover me. We got this.
Darth Frieza. Oh, that'd be so cool.
And we're done with that.
Mission successful.
I feel the good in Lark, so I guess I'll have to pull Luke Skywalker here. Man, I appreciate that, Jed. I appreciate that you go for that. Actually, I do have an idea for like a Sith story that kind of follows the sort of like a.
Hey, I got MVP again!
Hey!
Hey!
You did it with the Celtic chick. How about that?
Look at that! I did it with Thorn. Who would have guessed? Not bad. I need more Dead Island 2 stream. I thought I explained why that was a problem. I can't, guys. Like I said, the reason I can't do Dead Island 2 streams is because YouTube will just keep me from getting monetized.
Yeah.
Look, tell you what. Sometime if I make enough money for the month, I'll do it because I'll have made enough. But
Oh no, they're singing in French. Should I? MVP. Yep.
all right, let's hop out of there.
Now I need to find the Inquisitor design my friend made for my other friend. It was pretty baller. Dude, some Inquisitors go amazing.
They do though.
Hey Raven and Lark, remember when that animation where Anakin and Obi-Wan were fighting and Anakin used a deagle? No, I do not remember
I
this.
do not remember this,
But that sounds awesome.
That sounds pretty sick.
Everybody's gangster till Darth Vader pulls out the deagle. Gosh, I'm not gonna lie, using a Desert Eagle in something like Far Cry 5 made you feel something else.
Made you feel some type of way.
Oh yeah, the dang French are back. I mean, we're playing a game produced by French Canadians, so we can't be too surprised. Should we chant in the French about an onion? Thanks, Napoleon.
What?
I've been working on this one story concept that revolves around someone named Narcissus working with a girl named Nemesis to kill Cupid, god of romance, and Aphrodite, goddess of lust. The reasons being, don't just leave me there, Guardian. I was interested.
We all are.
Why is Montaigne a toaster? Why isn't yours?
Why isn't your Montaigne a toaster? Because it's Montaigne's elite skin. Montaigne got a pretty cool looking elite skin. Makes him look like a frickin' Terminator. And he has a really cool new like victory celebration.
Are you saying Montaigne is ready to smack a heretic?
Yeah, this is his new thing.
I will endure 1,000 deaths before I yield.
Good luck getting MVP as Montaigne, though.
TIE fighters are pretty cool, even though they do look kind of goofy. They do sound just awesome. If you want to see a cool looking TIE fighter variant, look at like the Sith Empire's fighters from like the Old Republic. Very cool design. Did you guys see the fan recreated duel between Obi-Wan and Vader in Episode 4? Oh yeah, we've seen it. That was awesome.
Yep. That was cool.
You got to play Montaigne next time. Next time we do right.
I did play Montaigne earlier in the game. Got a kill with him.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
It's cool. Should have been there. Narcissus can't find someone to love, so he wants to eliminate the very nature of love, with Nemesis wanting to help since the two gods killed her family at a young age. Source prophecy. Interesting. Does that destroy, like, does that mean someone else becomes the god of love, or does that destroy the concept entirely, leaving humanity to a bleak future? Intriguing.
I don't even know.
Raven, search up Chanson de, I can't pronounce that, a French military chant, literally about an onion. I've heard crazier military chants.
Yeah, I've heard crazier.
Like an old man in his peanut stand. Oh, TIE interceptors are pretty cool.
They are.
I mean, you can ask Russian Badger. I'm not sure he
Can I ask Russian Badger to do it? No, I'm not even going to bother. Russian Badger is so out of my league, we wouldn't even recognize the view.
The fan film X-Wing? I think we've seen that. Haven't seen that. I feel like I've seen that.
Do I even have enough to afford? No, I don't have enough to afford either of them, and I don't really want to. I'm not going to purchase them until I need to do their dedicated video. Because you both are cringe.
Listen, if Russian Badger popped into our DMs and said, "Hey, want to do a collab?" we'd probably go, "Yes!" I mean,
I know you're teary-eyed about it, but let me ask you a question. What would I do with them? No, really, that's my question. What would I do with Russian? I don't mean that to be mean. What would I do with Russian Badger? Like, he's hilarious. He makes really funny jokes. He always works off of his buddies. He makes really good content. I'm a lore guy. Badger really doesn't care about the lore about anything. He doesn't make videos for Honor. He's done with Rainbow Six for the most part. He's never touched Dead by Daylight and has shown no interest in it. What on earth would we do? That's my question. If I were to collab with Russian Badger, what would we make? I don't mean that to be mean. I really am not. But it's an honest question. What would we do? Just play games together? I can't be sporadically funny like he can. Anyway.
We'll see.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. I know that tonight probably wasn't very fun for y'all.
I don't know. I had fun.
Well, I'm glad. I wish that I wish that tonight had been different. I really, really wanted to. I really just wanted to do For Honor Friday because I've been looking forward for so long to what was coming. I was really excited for the new event. I wanted to play Test Your Metal really badly because today, like I said, was pretty bad. I'm sad that we didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
I swear I will do everything in my power to get it working tomorrow. And if For Honor is back up and running tomorrow, we will definitely do it. Please understand, it pisses me off too.
Anyway, on a interesting note, you've been asked what your favorite One Piece quote is. Because he was saying his is Dr. Luke's death scene. Because that is a pretty good quote.
That is a good quote. My favorite is Robin screaming, "I want to live." That is my favorite. Because it encapsulates what I love about One Piece. Like, I mean, it's kind of basic, but I think that that's probably one of the strongest moments in One Piece, where this whole time she hasn't felt like she has the right to live. She hasn't felt like she has the right to her life or herself. She's always felt like she's been a burden on everyone. And her biggest fear, what's so funny is her biggest fear was not that the Straw Hats would be Buster called. I mean, yeah, she didn't want them to be Buster called. She didn't want them to be hit with the Buster call. But that wasn't her fear. Her fear was that if she kept getting chased over and over and over again, eventually the Straw Hats would be tired of her and get rid of her. And now that she's finally found these friends that she loves so much, she can't stand the idea of losing those friends. She can't stand the idea of them giving her up. It's too much for her to bear. So she basically said, if all I have to look forward to is for you guys to give up on me, then I'd rather die. But Luffy takes a look up at what... see, here's what she said. Looks up at the flag of the world government, her enemy, and basically says, here's my answer to that. Shoot it down. And he basically destroys the flag, saying, there is no running back. Now your enemy is our enemy. I do not care what they do. I will always, always chase after you. I will never let you die. I will never let them take you away from us. Now you better tell me right now that you want to live. You know, he basically says, I'm not taking that crap. Like, and to me, and then she finally makes a choice that she wants to live. She wants to escape. She wants to go out to sea with them. And that to me, I'm like, that is so freaking solid. That to me is quintessentially what One Piece is all about. That's what One Piece has always been about. The brotherhood, the bonds, like the connection between all the parties. You know, everyone, a bunch of misfits coming together and building something better as a result of each other. You know, that's what matters to me. That's what I took from it. So when I think about the best lines in One Piece, that is a line that gives me chills every time.
Yeah. For me, since I can't pick that, I'm probably going to have to pick Zoro's speech to the crew about letting Usopp back.
Oh, yeah, that was great. I could rewatch that all the time.
Yeah, that was great. And of course, on a silly note, probably I'll win. He's fighting Fox, and he goes, but he surprises them, and he just goes, it's like, what? You were Foxy the whole time? Yes, and I was the nurse too! No way! Luffy's dumb moments are just as fun as his awesome moments.
They really are.
Yep. I also love the quote from Jaguar D. Saul, what he said to Robin before he was frozen.
Yeah, that was a good line. They had some really good lines, no question.
I mean, if it's lasted this long, you'd hope so.
One would hope.
Yeah, well, I think that does it for questions.
All right. Well, in that case, let's get ready to wrap it up, guys. So if you're looking at the screen right now, you're seeing basically the next lineup for the Rainbow Six Win series. Valkyrie will be up next, followed by Montaigne, because we're doing attacker, defender, attacker, defender. Since I just did IQ, Valkyrie will be next. I'll start working on her video soon. I finished her script. I've got to get the footage, which will take some time to get. I've also got the Huntress video coming up. Tomorrow, again, I want to apologize again. I know that tonight was kind of a bummer, and I know that we had some fun playing this, but I was not in a great mood because I was very upset about what all that happened. Didn't mean for it to get that weird. I apologize for that. Tomorrow, if the servers are working, we will do For Honor Friday that night, and I will make up for lost time. And I may even reward you guys for your patience by doing something Sunday too. We'll just have to see. Keep me in your prayers. Keep supporting the channel. Want to really thank you guys for all you've done. This channel means a lot to me, and to have you guys so dedicated to it and always showing up means the world. Thank you guys so much. And with all that said, I will see you in my next video. Take care.
Have a good one, guys.